Hey, Megan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It is St. Patrick's Day
It
today.
is.
I have on my green earrings and
Oh,
my
I like it.
bracelet that my friend got me, a green bracelet, and my shamrock around my neck, even though I have only in the office appointments today via the phone call and Zoom, so no one is
hmm
going to see it
hmm
anyway.
There you go. Well, at
Are
least
you
you're
going to
wearing the
go?
green, you're official.
I know. Are you going to go drink green beer tonight, Rick?
Oh my gosh. No.
Probably. Those days are over. We used to go out and have so much
Yeah,
fun for
that
St.
was
Patty's
30 or
Day.
40 years ago without
I
doing
know.
that for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, here we are. We are
My kids would
back.
tell me.
Yeah, exactly. I know. We're back. We're here to talk about important things that we think people should know if they
Mhm.
are doing something in the real estate market or if they're just curious or preparing for future. And today is a topic that is so important, and I have been wanting to present this information to people for a while. And I just had to really think about how to compartmentalize a lot of thoughts so that
Mhm.
they could get the most use out of it.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to talk about two types of sellers, home sellers, okay?
hmm
So, the first type of a home seller is, we'll call them the sprinter, okay? And the other type of home seller, we will call them the tester, the
mm
sprinter and the tester.
There you
Now,
go.
the difference is with the sprinter and a tester is that a sprinter will recognize that there is more of a strategy in when you put your
Mhm.
house up for sale. That it's not just about the other million things, preparing it for sale, getting all your documentation done,
Mhm.
photos, cleaning, da 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 da. When you look at the comparable sales and you say to yourself, how am I, seller, going to stand out from the competition? Because the competition is growing. The amount of houses that are for sale is increasing. So you as a
Mhm.
seller, you need to have your act together and understand that you are going to have to stick out and not just be blasé. So unless your house
Mhm.
is some kind of a unicorn, you'd better have a really good strategy and have an experienced realtor to help explain the strategy and build it.
100%. Yeah.
So the sprinter looks at the comparable sales and prices their home a little bit less than the comparable sales, okay? Some people do, we're not talking about $10,000 here, okay? We're talking about like a
Mhm.
significant amount of money to price it less.
Okay. All
Okay?
right.
So you're talking 3 to
Mhm.
5% less. And
Wow.
I wish
Okay.
I had a rubber band here. I should have had one for
hmm
um, the purpose of doing this. Okay, so if you think your house is going to sell for 900 and you price it at 899 900, okay, fine. Eventually it'll probably sell for 900. I don't know. It might. Um, but I pretend that you have a rubber band around your fingers, okay? And you're pulling the rubber
hmm
band back for tension, okay? So if
hmm
you price the house at what you think it's worth, it's going to be like bing, not much going
hmm
on there, not
hmm
much
hmm
tension. But if you price it a 3 to 5% less, you probably don't need to do 5, probably do 3% less, you're pulling back on that rubber
hmm
band. You're pulling back. You're building momentum, and boom, you've got a much bigger reaction than if you go think, okay? Or
Gotcha.
if it's priced too high, then your rubber band's over here. It's not going anywhere,
Going the
right?
opposite direction.
Go in the opposite direction. There's that sweet spot, and how
hmm
this works is that if you price your home a little bit less with all the other things, it's clean, it's in good order, whatever
hmm
situation is for you, just depends. I mean, if it's a fixer too, it's just a different strategy. But what'll happen is that you'll build that tension, you'll build that momentum, and when all things work out, you have a lot of buyers that come and see your house. So it's a big funnel, and you're trying to find enough buyers. Who's going to pay top dollar for your house? Who's it
hmm
going to be? And so your chances of finding that person are much greater if you have it priced well, it's ready to go, it's easily accessible, your realtor has a plan, it's got all the marketing, legs. And then once you have multiple offers, you might have 8 or 10 offers even in this market. And then as a seller, as a sprinter seller, then you can better dictate the terms of your agreement with someone. So you can say that I want you to remove your contingencies faster. I'm not going to repair anything. The sale is as is. Or I need extra time to move out after the close of escrow. The chances of you finding that person that's going to accept those terms when there's 8 to 10 offers on your house are much greater than if you're a tester. Because the tester maybe has an offer, maybe has two. In a few weeks, if you especially if you price it too high, maybe you've had multiple showings, and over several weeks, a couple of open houses, you finally get an offer, and it's less than asking because people don't necessarily offer full price for a house that's been sitting on the market for weeks and weeks. So it's better to you kind of lose your leverage when you have a house on the market for weeks and weeks. And what people have to understand is that the market itself, it's a decaying asset. So the longer you're on the market, the less strength you have negotiating. And if you want to test the market is also going to test you, right? And the market has a lot of capital, and you're just dealing with yourself and what you're, personally willing and able to do. But when sellers choose to be a sprinter seller, it's not about being in a hurry. It's about using the proof that we have available that this is the best way to find the buyer you're looking for from the buyer pool.
Right. So you're going to maximize the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, that's all good stuff. As in, if I'm hearing you correctly, I think I am. I mean, you take two sellers. Let's say each house is worth $900,000. One listed at $899,900, saying, let's give it a shot. We have time. We can play at the market, and you might get a good offer. And the other guy goes, oh no, wait a minute. I want to maximize my opportunity here. I'll list it at $850,000, and then just go fast. See how many offers we get, then we can negotiate, right? So then that seller gets 5 or 6 offers, and some of those offers at that point might be more than $900,000, and so that seller has more leverage to dictate terms, as you said, contingency removals, repairs, things like that, and they can just go faster. Now, guess what? You'll be able to choose from the 5 or 6 best buyers in the market that are motivated to buy. They're ready to go, right? You take the tester. Now he's, instead of being an escrow, he's sitting there going, "Hey, where's the buyers? What happened? What's going on here?" And then a couple weeks later, they start getting offers coming in. Now the buyer's out there thinking, "Well, wait a minute. It's been on the market for 3 weeks. It's not really worth $900,000. Let's offer $850,000."
Yeah.
Right. So now what you're doing is you're chasing the bottom of that market now.
Yep.
And you're chasing buyers now who just want a good deal and want to create their own leverage over the seller. So it sounds to me like, if I'm hearing that correctly, Megan, is that those types of buyers are going to try to maximize their opportunity while the seller is losing their opportunity.
Right. Yeah. Whose opportunity are you looking out for here, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, though. I mean, so guess what? They're both going to sell. It's a matter of, what's the best process to get that done with the best result.
Right.
It's not always the highest price house in the market necessarily.
Right. I'll give you a good example. So recently I put a house up for sale, and it was a very, very unique house. And so by the way, I usually know what a house is going to sell for mostly, okay? So I pick a number that's pretty aggressive, and if the seller is willing to do it, then we do it. But, obviously a seller can do whatever in the hell they want with their house. It's their house. But this is just,
Right.
you should have an agent that can explain different strategies
Mm-hmm,
to you. So anyway, so I thought the house was going to sell for a certain number. And I put it on the market. I got, I think I got 11 offers. And it was under contract for well over 100,000 over asking. And over by tens of thousands what I thought it was going to sell for.
There you go.
Because in that situation, the market dictated what they were willing to pay for that house. We would not know what the market was going to pay for that house unless we had everybody in that house and writing offers. I mean, we had within a week, we had 100 different people through showings and open house and stuff.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so, I mean, we nailed it, and so when it came down to negotiating, we said it's as is. We want you to do your home inspection. It's not about any of that, but just we want to make it loud and clear. We're not going to fix anything. We're not going to give any credits. When you do your home inspection, it's for your information gathering, so you can decide if you want in or out. And then we also removed the appraisal contingency. So we said there's no appraisal contingency. So you can get an appraisal, that's fine. But, please do all the things. But also please note that we're not going to reduce the price. So if it doesn't appraise for the amount that you have set that you were going to pay, we're not reducing our price. So, and then because we had all of those people in and all of those offers, we had really good backup offers. So if something happened, then that buyer knew we still had other offers. And so we did not negotiate any repairs or any appraisal gap issues, and the house did not appraise for what the sales price was, and we said that's okay. We're not going to change the price, and we didn't. So that's the difference between, if you were a seller with no backup offers and your buyer's trying to renegotiate with you, or they'll walk and you don't have any backup offers, now you're kind of finding yourself oh, geez.
No leverage.
Yeah, you don't have any leverage. So it's important that when you list your house, that you review the different strategies with your realtor, and that you identify with, to each other what exactly that strategy is going to be, what it looks like, what your goal is, what you think it's going to sell for, have your estimated net sheets, because there, every once in a while there's a circumstance where that strategy might not work. It just depends on what type of house it is, really, and if there's a lot of competition for houses like that. So, but I mean, I've only had it not work once. Sorry, I went to put hand lotion on and it spilled. But anyway, and in that situation, we just addressed it as it came up. So that, from a listing agent here, how many houses have I listed in almost 30 years?
Ton.
I don't know, Rick.
More than you can count.
More than most people. So that is my very best advice.
Well, it's great advice because we all deal with these types of situations, and the realtors who are lacking that wisdom and ability to create that leverage usually get a poor result.
Yeah, I agree. So, well, good. And like I said, a seller, when you hire me, I'm not going to bludgeon you over the head to do things my way. You do things whatever way you want. I just give you the information, and then you can decide, what you're happy about, what you're not happy about, and then we can tailor a plan for you.
Yeah, makes sense.
I love
Great
it.
work, Megan.
All right, Rick, you got anything else for the week? I know rates were high fives, now they're low sixes. What is going on out there with these interest rates?
There's so much going on right now in the world events. We know that gas prices, that creates some inflationary pressures. All of this is going to be temporary. I don't see it as a long-term play, but right now we have to just deal with it. And look, the reality is rates are still lower now than they were 6 months ago. They may not be as low now as they were 3 weeks ago, but that's okay. That's just the ebb and flow of the market. But we're still in a great market in terms of rates. And, the market, when the rates go down, there's some history, is that they go down very, very slowly. It's not overnight. And so it's a long-term play. So, no, we're going to be just fine. The Feds are meeting this week. I don't think they'll see a Fed rate cut. It's not in the cards this meeting. That's okay, too. I think the market needs some time to stabilize here, have less volatility, and see where this all plays out in the next few weeks. But overall, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, good. Very good. All right. Well, I appreciate you, Rick, and I'll see you next week. And next week we have a special speaker on. Next week we have Hope. She is my preferred home stager.
Oh, nice.
Hope is an amazing human, and she does a wonderful job. And so she's going to talk about staging with us for sellers and
nice.
How to get your house ready for sale with staging.
Love that. Perfect. Can't wait for it.
Very good. All right. I'll see you next week.
See you, Megan.